When people from Likenstein are emigrating somewhere, my friends, it's because they don't have sun, or they want to explore something. Balkans, when they emigrate, we emigrate to literally survive. Super, welcome. Balkan Breakfast talk show, my friends, new Balkan series. Like, subscribe would help me a lot. Buy me a coffee link if you want to donate something to this channel. If not, my friends, free of charge. I don't charge anything, remember. Super. My friends, today we're going to talk about Gastarbeiter Diaspora, TTT Balkan Diaspora to the Western countries. Super. My friends, listen. The suitcase generation usually started 60s. Super. My friends, from the Balkans, emigration towards the rich countries to work. So, I'm talking about people with zero opportunities, my friends, zero education and zero idea of what to do in the Balkans. So that's why they emigrated, so they can work and literally survive. So only survival was in their mind. Super. My friends, usually when people from rich countries are moving away, let's say after a retirement, when they're emigrating, my friends, to explore, to see the nature, to explore the food, adventure, blah, blah, blah. Balkan people, ne. Shushki, my friend, just my... and survival. Super. My friends, Balkan people emigrated usually, and most of them usually emigrated to Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Australia, Canada, America. Let's say one of the most richest countries in the world. Super. So basically, my friends, the Western countries, they needed labor. Balkan people needed money. Very simple explanation. And that's why, my friends, and that's how the word Gastarbeiter, which actually means a guest worker, originated in Germany. It should be a temporary work. Ship kid. It started as a temporary, but it became permanent. Now, my friends, we even have fourth generation of Balkan people in this country. Super. So, my friends, I have to be honest and I have to be serious. Why they actually left? I think it was around 1960s. Yugoslavia actually signed a labor agreement with Western Europe for working. So the deal was Western factories needed workers, Balkan people needed money. Opa, handshake, my friends, no problem, go and work. Ajde, sikta, epci majkata. All of you who don't have money, go and work. Super, my friends, usually, and most of the rich Western countries now, after 1960s, before even 1960s, my friends, they were renewing, reborning their economies, their factories, and blah, 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 which were, my friends, destroyed and torn up since the Second World War. Simple as this. So they needed a lot of workers, because the workers that were in their country, the domestic people, they weren't enough. So they have to import. Where is the import cheapest? My friends, from Balkan and Eastern Europe. You understand? Cheap labor. Super. There were, my friends, two factors. Push and pull. Povuci pote. The push factor from the Balkan, my friends, was limited wages, political instability, my friends, unemployment, and so on. The pull factor, especially in the Western and Nordic richer countries, my friends, was actually higher income, industrial expansion, as I mentioned, especially after the Second World War, where there were... karate. Sorry, when they were rebuilding the factories and rebuilding this, blah, 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 and so on, my friends, super. And one more thing, which almost everybody forgets, is actually stable currency, my friend. Listen, back in the days in Yugoslavia, my friend, the inflation, I don't know which year, the inflation was actually even higher than Argentina. So, for example, my friend, the most valuable currencies in this continent was actually the Deutsche Mark, Swiss franc, British pound. That's it. You understand? Our money back down south in the Balkans were actually inflated. That's the problem. Super. Let's say, my friends, the economic engine of the diaspora Gastarbeiter. So, my friends, in countries like, especially, let's say, for example, the poorer countries in the Balkan countries, in the Balkan peninsula, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, this kind of country. Super. Money which was sent from this first generation of Gastarbeiters were actually boosting the domestic GDP, and they were building the gross domestic product, the GDP. So you see, my friends, entire houses were actually built on foreign wages. By foreign, I mean diaspora, Gastarbeiter wages. Cars were bought because, my friends, back in the days, the cars that we had in the Balkans were Stockets, Mediterranean, Fico, Yugo, this kind of shit. Only the rich people were driving Mercedes with this Gastarbeiter, my friends. Opa, they were dressed with the shirt, with the chain, super sunglasses, driving Mercedes Cabriolet. Hey, my friends, back in the day, you're literally Don Corleone. Super. One more thing, and this is very important. Gastarbeiter money, actually, my friends, didn't only boost the GDP. They actually, my friend, stabilized Balkan economies. I'm not even joking. They literally stabilized the Balkan economies. My friends, they were educating children with this money in the Balkan country. And one more thing which is very important, for back in the days, not for now, for the first gen of immigrants, my friends, is actually, they created the middle class. Because the middle class, my friends, especially in this time, it was not middle, my friends, it was actually lower class. But Gastarbeiter money actually created a middle class. So you see, very good. So in the host countries, my friends, they were actually, how can I say, they were feeling labor shortages. They were paying taxes. They were feeling, they were boosting the pension system, social system, and blah blah blah. But they were temporary. Gastarbeiter, shipki. Fifi, zboram bre. Sorry. But temporary became permanent. Super. My friends, life between two worlds. So, the first generation of Balkan immigrants were actually, my friends, factory workers, mining, they were working in mining, construction, my friends, manufacturing, so on, so on, so on. Physically demanding jobs, socially isolated jobs. So they were, how can I say, they were missing at the dinner table. Because, my friends, back in the days when these people emigrated, because they didn't have any money, they didn't have any education, most of them didn't even know how to read and write. So they were totally uneducated. My friends, they were working 24/7. It's not like today, 9 to 5, and then you go to the lake and you feed the ducks. Shipki. My friends, they were working 24/7. Just to survive and just to bring money to the household. In order to raise the kids, to pay everything, and to send something back home. Because everybody was a patriot and a nationalist. Super. So, my friends, they were very essential workers. Their children actually grew up with, usually, the wives, the mothers. They were bilingual. Of course, you will become bilingual, my friends. You will know the domestic language from your parents. And in school, you will learn, let's say, for example, German. Super. My friends, you are not fully supported in the host countries where you emigrated. You're not fully supported back home because back home the politicians, they want when they smell shushki, my friends, they steal your money immediately. So you are totally lost. That was the life between the two worlds. Super. My friends, listen. The stigma. Even though, let's be honest. Now I'm gonna be honest. My friends. Europe, these modern countries here in European Union, the rich countries, they were built, all of the infrastructures, factories, bridges, power grids, and so on and so on and so on. All the things were built by Balkans and Eastern Europeans. Mostly. You understand? Mostly. So we are, and we were, and we are, the backbone, my friends, of today's modern societies and modern rich countries of European Union. You understand? Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Norway, Sweden, and so on and so on and so on. So you understand? But even though our people were doing this, the stereotypes, my friends, actually persisted. Cheap shit, cheap worker, cheap this guy, seljačište. I mean, they were calling us names back in the days. They were calling us names because they were not valuing us. We were basically the toilet cleaners and the road workers. That's it. Super. I mean, it's not super, but there were not many options. Super. Not super. Super. But my friends, the second and the third generation, aka the kids of the first generation and their grandkids, my friends, they became doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, academic people, even politicians. In some countries, even politicians, MPs and blah blah blah. Super. My friends, the problem is that you're getting stereotyped here. Let's say, for example, in the rich countries. But back home, they were seeing these people as too Western. My friends, you lost your identity, now you're spion, spy. My friends, they were seeing them too Western. They're seeing them as arrogant and they're seeing them as disconnected. Because, my friends, when you're moving from the Balkans towards these rich countries to work, you're losing your identity. You're becoming a foreigner here, a foreigner back home, a foreigner everywhere you go. Lele, rima, the rhyme. Super. My friends, listen, the second generation shift. This is very important, listen to me, and please don't get mad at me, especially in the comments. The children of the Gastarbeiter, so the first generation, aka the second generation. My friends, most of them, not all of them, but most of them went to universities. They had actually professional careers. You see, for example, Balkan surnames, my friends, in some political debates, in the politics, in the corporate companies, like for example the banks and the blah blah blah, leadership, my friends, academia, and so on. So, for example, my friends, you can see something like John Petrovich. you understand? Stacy Ridova. Balkan people. Those are Balkan spies. so, I'm just joking. Super. The first generation of Gastarbeiter actually built stability and risked literally everything. The second generation, my friends, actually built mobility. You understand? Super. The problem is, my friends, now I'm gonna do a rant, bear with me. I fully respect the first generation people, even though most of them were even most of them were not educated. They didn't know how to read. They didn't know how to write honestly and 100% accurate. Super. But they had only one thing in their mind, which was survival. Because, my friends, they were most probably coming from some poor regions, poor cities, not many opportunities and blah, blah, blah. In the Balkans, they didn't have much, they didn't have nothing. So on their mind was only survival. So they escaped and they were only working just to survive. The problem is, my friends, the second generation. The third, yes, but not that much. But the second generation is actually the biggest problem. These people, my friends, who are educated, you see the screen, quotation marks, educated, in some power, how can I say, big corporations, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I'm not saying no. Undeniable, you will get the best experience ever. That's true. That's super. Odlično. But, my friends, you are actually the most arrogant. You are actually the most, we have a saying in our country, golem kurac, which actually means, my friends, you're behaving like a big boss. Listen, my friends, most of you who were born in, I don't know, Brisbane, Melbourne, or Sydney, my friends, I understand. You were born in this amazing continent, amazing country, full with opportunities, with nice things, with developed things. My friends, you cannot expect back home to the Balkans to be the same as Brisbane. So don't put shit on Balkan people mind who are living back home. My friends, it's not possible. First of all. Second of all, my friends, you were born outside of the Balkans. How do you expect to know literally everything about Balkans and to fix it? Just because you're from Balkans? No. My friends, you're Balkan descendants. You were born in totally different countries. The problem with you, my friends, is that you're very arrogant and you think that if you have money, you can literally solve everything. Most probably you can do it, but in the host countries. In the domestic country where you originate from, aka Balkans, my friends, they will steal your money. As they stole your parents' money and promised them fairy tales, false promises, false propaganda, false nationalism, false patriotism. And the propaganda was serving through the embassies. So you're gonna behave the same and treat listen. I don't understand why the second and the third generation of Balkan people in the West rich countries, my friends, are actually even more patriot than the people who are living in the Balkans. You're going and voting in the embassies and you don't know who to vote because you're actually not breathing, but you're inhaling like turbo Passat. Turbo. You're inhaling, my friends, fake propaganda served by the left and right political party, which together, one party, you're inhaling this, so you're destroying the dreams and the opportunities for the people who are remaining in the Balkans by voting and by behaving like Golem Kurats, aka Big Boss. You understand? Super. You understand? We understand each other. These people are actually the big problem. Super. Not their parents, not their grandparents. Super. Super. Oh, sorry, this rant. The economic dependency problem. Back in the days, my friends, listen, the first generation, they were actually so proud and they were actually really patriots, really nationalists. Even though nationalism, small margin, okay, big margin, very big problem. Super. My friends, our GDP and our economies were actually boosted back in the days, not now, back in the days, remember, were boosted, my friends, by foreign money. By foreign money, I mean diaspora money. You understand? Super. But when large, portions of your GDP actually relies on diaspora money, my friends, democratic reforms are slowing down, innovations are weakened, and so on, and governments delay actually some structural changes. Because, my friends, they need your money. Opa, sorry, 1 second. Sorry. But they actually created this stigma, this paradox, so you can actually do that. They stole, the politicians, the dinosaurs in our country, my friends, stole a lot of money, a lot of money, especially from the first generation of migrants, and they were promising them this and that. My friends, we can see, even though a lot of money were invested in the Balkan countries, especially for the first generation Gastarbeiter. My friends, you can see the Balkan countries, the systems are still shit. It still feels like Ottoman Empire, but in modern worlds. With internet. Yeah, you understand? That's the problem. If they actually did something with the money that the first generation of Balkan people, the first generation of diaspora, invested, my friends, we would be Singapore now, honestly. You understand? Super. My friends, listen, I have to be honest. Today's modern world, third, maybe even fourth generation of Balkan people are existing in the rich Western countries. Super. My friends, listen. Now, especially after 2020, when the thing was flying, we were all scared. Super. My friends, we're living in a new world. By new world, I mean in quotation marks. Super. This new world, my friends, actually is a little bit complicated because now they're actually restructuring everything so we can fit in this new world. The restructuring, my friends, is going extremely slowly because nobody knows what they're doing. You can see, my friends, even rich big economies, my friends, here in the European continent and Australia, America, they're restructuring, but they don't know how. So, my friends, when they're restructuring the systems, the job market, the economy, everything, my friends, problem for the normal people who are working. All of a sudden, my friends, Price per square meter, millions. Food is expensive, water is expensive, electricity extremely expensive. You cannot even live in this especially in the capitals, and blah, blah, blah. So, second and third generation now, Balkan people are thinking of returning back home. But they're returning with, very important, listen, savings, because they have a lot of money even from their grandparents. That's super. A lot of experience, because most of them, my friends, worked in some multinational, international, blah, 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 corporation, banks, IT sector, automotive industry, and so on and so on. So they gained a lot of experience. And by this, they actually gained a lot of networks. They know a lot of people, CEOs, CFOs, this, that. This company can invest in this thing, for example, in the Balkans, blah, blah, blah. So it's good. Usually, when the people are, how can I say, thinking about going back home, by home I mean Balkans, my friends, they invest in startups. I'm talking about real startups, I'm not talking about money laundering startups. There are who are laundering money, those are totally different. Startups. A lot of them in real estate, my friends, because we have this Balkan mentality, my friends, an apartment is your savings plan. It is what it is, my friends. Everybody is buying apartments and everything is locked. That's why, my friends, you're going to some cities and to some Balkan countries, my friends, you see a whole building, only 3 or 4 apartments, lights are on, everything else is darkness. You understand, because people are buying and they're living abroad. Super. They're also investing, my friends, in hospitality, good business, I'm not saying no. Manufacturing, my friends, so they're, for example, buying these old abandoned factories in an old abandoned city or a village, trying to revive them. The smart Gastarbeiters, second, third generation, actually, they know how to reinvent this factory into be something more efficient, something blah blah, something beneficial, which is good, my friends. I'm not saying no, super. The problem is, listen to me now. The problem is, my friends, the clash of the second and third generation of Gastarbeiter with the Balkan bureaucracy, with the Balkan system. Because in Balkan, my friends, we have something which is called Balkan system. It works like Passat 1.9 manual with 1 million kilometers passed from Belgium. It goes, but it doesn't go. But somehow it works. The problem with this Gastarbeiter, my friends, with the second and the third gen, is because they were born in a totally different countries with boring institutions who are working. Somehow they're working, even though they're corrupted as well. I understand, but they're working. The problem, my friends, in the Balkan is that they're not working. The institutions are not working. For example, the institutions here in the rich Western countries, when these people were born, my friends, they're boring, somehow working, as I said. In the Balkans, my friends, in the institutions, we have drama. Cassandra and Radu. TV series. Sorry. So, my friends, they're not used to this kind of shit. To the bureaucracy, to the corruption, so we have something which we say shush-mush. Shush-mush, my friends, actually means like how to avoid things. My friends, you and me, shush-mush. That means how to avoid things, how to navigate around the Balkan system. The problem, my friend, is that these people, even though they're from the Balkan originally, they don't know, my friends, this kind of shit. So they're getting caught in the system. The system, eats them. Nyam, 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 super, very tasty. And, my friends, after that, they will steal your money. They will waste your time. You will invest in some shupa, my some fucking ruin in some Vukojebina. They will lie to you about you boosting the coin, and they will steal your money like they stole your parents and grandparents' money. So I cannot even make one episode, Bože Gospode, without mentioning these fucking dinosaurs in the Balkans. Listen, my friend. These dinosaurs that we have in the Balkan, the politicians, are stupid as fuck. They think they're smart, but they're stupid. I'm gonna tell you why. They could have built all the Balkan countries to be amazing. When all the Balkan countries are amazing and when the people are satisfied, like they are in some rich countries here in this part of Europe, my friends, nobody is gonna bother the politicians. They can steal in peace. I'm just joking, but they never had actually any idea how to make the Balkan countries be amazing, because the whole Balkan Peninsula is extremely beautiful, and it's not that hard to actually boost the markets, because it's a small market, my friends. It's a small market. It's not big market and big countries like, for example, Germany, Australia, America, Asia, and so on. These are small. It can be done. But the problem, my friend, is that the systems are from the Ottoman Empire. The problem is the corruption. The problem is that everybody is thinking to come to some position in the government and how to steal. They don't know how to do something, how to renovate something, how to actually give incentive for the outsiders, diaspora, Gastarbeiter, to actually invest money and actually build the economy and blah, 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 blah. Because I'm going to say something and I'm going to finish, how much? 25 minutes? Stay with me. Super. My friends, listen. If these politicians don't wake up, immediately don't wake up, our Balkan countries will disappear. I mentioned Greece. I think it was 2024 or 2025 report. 0.6 babies per one female. Not even one kid per female. Most of the European continent is same. My friends, if we continue with this trend, we will literally disappear. Like we have in this beautiful continent of ours named Europe, we have literally people who don't have countries. You know who I'm talking about. Super. Not super at all, but super. Super. Not super. My friends, identity in the 21st century is how can I say, totally mixed up. Everybody, my friend, is like a hybrid. Toyota RAV4 hybrid. My friends, you're from, mixed up families from the Balkan. You were born in Switzerland. You live in Australia. Pichku majčinu, my friends, you have 3 passports. Nobody knows who you are. As we say, my friends, Jukela. Street dog. I'm just joking. My friends, the problem is, it's not a problem, but actually the point is that the second and the third generation, since they were born, my friends, outside of the Balkan countries, in some foreign country, my friends, they're actually by default already citizens. You understand? But they're always questioning, where do they belong? Are they belonging to the south of Europe? Are they belonging to the west, north, or some other continents? The stigma and the paradox, my friends, is, how can I say? Okay, listen, personal story, me. My friends, most of my life I'm living abroad. Super. When I emigrated first for studies, doesn't matter. My friends, super. You come, you work, you see new things, blah, blah, blah. Super. Experience, undeniable, the best thing ever. Super. I'm not saying that. European continent only. The problem is, after a couple of years, my friends, you actually begin to lose your identity. You don't know who you are. Are you from this part of the world? Are you from that part of the world? Which is very bad, and it hurts. The problem is, my friends, that when you return back home for vacations on blah, 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 my friends, the people will see you as a foreigner as well. So, you will feel this pain that you're a foreigner in the host country that you immigrated to. You're a foreigner back home. So you have 2 homes, 2 passports, 2 souls, 2 hearts, 2 brains, and so on and so on. Write me in the comments if you agree with me, and for the Gastarbeiters if you feel the same pain. My friends, you feel like you don't belong anywhere. Like everywhere you go, even while you're shitting, you feel like a guest. You feel like a guest in both of your homes, in both of your worlds, and blah, blah, and blah, blah, and blah, blah. This is, my friends, for you who didn't emigrate, who are remaining in the Balkans, my friends, this is the worst feeling that you can have. I know that a lot of Gastarbeiter, diaspora, are arrogant and they're behaving like golem kurats and so on and so on. I understand, my friends. I understand. But for the normal people who actually immigrated because of different reasons, my friends, the pain, it hurts very much. Just to say this. Super. My friends, so I'm gonna give you one more thing. How many? 30 minutes, one thing, and I finish very short. My friends, listen. today's modern world. Immigration is not gonna happen that much, especially from the Balkans towards these rich countries here in the European continent, even blah blah blah. Because, my friends, now we have something which is called online work, remote work, outsourcing, blah blah blah. My friends, there are people now in the Balkan countries who have a lot of money, who are making money. Those people and the Gastarbeiters are actually fucking up the normal people who don't have a lot of money in our country, because, my friends, these people who are bringing money and they have money are now buying apartments, doing this, spending a lot of money, and all of a sudden, my friends, price per square meter, quadruple. You understand? Price for everything, quadruple. That's the problem. But that's a different topic we're going to discuss in a different video. My friends, we're causing a lot of problems. We migrants. Listen, the problem is that the migration is not going to happen that much, especially now in today's modern world. So, the immigration, illegal one, will continue to happen. My friends, you will see a lot of countries and a lot of capital cities in these rich Western countries now are totally not safe. You understand? They're totally not safe. They're filled with some people who are not part of the European culture, not part of the European mentality, and now, my friends, we're gonna feed and we're gonna work to pay doctors and engineers in quotation marks. You understand? Because, my friends, we were served since forever a propaganda that actually wants us to remain in low numbers. Different topic, but, my friend, if you don't immediately change the politics, if we don't immediately change the way of how we are behaving, because, my friends, imagine, all of a sudden now, the Balkans and the Eastern Europeans are not a problem anymore. Now are the doctors and engineers. So these people here, the European Union people, they switch their mind like this. Odlično. It took you like 50 years to realize that we're not the problem because we're from Europe. And now you will have the doctors and engineers who are not from Europe, who are actually the real problem. But those people, my friends, they will have kids. They will take your money. You will work for them, remember. They will take everything from you. If we don't immediately do something about to boost the populations, we're gonna disappear. And then, my friend, nothing literally is important. Then, my friend, doesn't matter if you have money, if you don't have money, if you're a second, third, fifth, 10th generation of some descendant of blah, blah, blah. Nothing will be important. You understand? And then, my friends, everything will disappear. And then, my friends, everything will go to shit. I don't want to get dark, but we can actually fix a lot of things. But we have to be smart and we have to think. Because, my friends, if we don't get smart immediately, if we don't avoid this propaganda that we are served, especially from far, far away west, doesn't matter. If we don't avoid this propaganda, my friends, we will disappear. Everything will become, my friends, generic. Zeros and ones. Super. My friends, I don't want to get you depressed. Super. I think you enjoyed this topic. Very interesting topic, my friends. A like and a subscribe would help me a lot. Buy me a coffee link if you want to donate something to the channel. If not, my friends, who gives a shit? I have a coffee. Here it is. And see you very soon into the next episode. Ciao.